What's up, everybody? We got something a little different today. We got our customer's beautiful 69 Firebird here. We're going to be completely redoing the suspension underneath. And what else? Oh yeah, the gearbox. We're doing the gearbox, drag link, tie rods, whole 9 yards. We got to weld up the front crossmember because it's got a crack in it. This is a big project. So stay tuned, and we're going to do some fun stuff. Now, this is a very important tool that you need for the job. It's a cup noodle to drain the power steering fluid into. Without that, you can't do this job. YouTube gold that you're missing here. I'm pretty sure that's a lug nut. I'm no expert though.
As we're in here, don't do this at home, but our spring compressor that goes inside of these style springs is too big to go inside of this. So I'm trying to get it taken care of. We have it out like this. I'm essentially doing this so the spring doesn't go too much further open. I am compressing it a little bit with this, but we're not going to get anywhere near proper compression to make it loose. We're just trying to, you know, keep it from getting any kind of bigger. And yeah, I like living right now. Granted, whatever shit is going on in the world, because there always is, but I like living. So we're going to do this and then essentially pick the car up.
So one of the big things with this job that's a little different than if you're probably doing it in yours is we realized that there was some cracks in the cross member here before we even took it apart. But now that we've got the gearbox out and we got it all cleaned up, it's looking a bit worse than we thought. So I'm wondering, we might need to get a cross member for this thing. We were initially just anticipating going back over the weld seam here and here just to fix the cracks that are there, but now it's kind of looking like oh, you can see over here too, goes up and then around on this side as well. So I don't know, we're gonna have a conversation with the owner and see what he thinks. Oh shit. Oh, who's that guy? He's not allowed in the video.
Take off, eh?
Yeah. So the customer decided that he wanted to go ahead and just weld it up for now. He's going to get a fancy like tubular cross member with coilovers and rack and pinion and stuff like later down the road. For now, it's just a weekend car. He wants to just weld it up and keep an eye on it. So what we did is I went along and I welded up some of these spots, like along the frame here where it just kind of had like a lap joint and it had like a crappy little like booger weld down in there. I went ahead and like reinforced it with a bigger, stronger weld. We welded up all the stuff along here, which was super contaminated, so it didn't weld super nice. I went ahead and welded a seam up here where it was cracked. And now on these mating surfaces, where the gearbox bolts up on both sides, Brandon's gonna TIG weld it because we don't want it to wind up with like a big old thick weld on it that we gotta grind down later. So he's gonna put a nice little teeny baby TIG weld in there. We're gonna grind it smooth, and then we're gonna bolt up the new gearbox. New gearbox, wow. Can you tell it's early? So we got this all welded up. You can see my ugly welds here along this, and this big thick one right here where I went across the whole factory weld, going from side to side just to lock that all down. And then Brandon put some nice low profile welds, just stitching this back together, keeping the heat down a little bit and stuff, so hopefully it doesn't get too brittle. I'm gonna go ahead and grind this flat a little bit on the face here. I'm gonna grind this flat on the face here where the bolt mounts up, and then we're gonna throw just a little bit of some chassis paint underneath there just to keep the rust off of it. He doesn't drive it in the elements or the rain at all, so, and it's just a weekend car. And then we'll go ahead and bolt up this brand new quick ratio gearbox. See that shit, dude? Damn. Find out pretty quickly which side the reverse threaded side is. Forgot one of my Lego pieces. So we got the suspension on this corner all back together. We danced with death for a little while, installing the spring. We wound up putting the jack underneath the end of the control arm here. We had the whole car down on the ground, and we essentially lowered the lift down onto the jack so we could compress the spring down enough that we could get this ball joint started. And then once that was started, everything kind of went together a lot smoother. So we got the shock back in there. I got to torque down the control arm bolts, but ball joints in and tight, sway bar end links in and tight. We got the gearbox on, pitman arm is on, drag links on, new idler arm is on. We should be good to tighten down that control arm, put these guys on, and put some fluid in it and see if this thing works. About as close as I could get it without having to reset everything internally. choppy, but
Maybe a tiny bit over.
Watch out for that water part of the way.
look at that. Back on the ground for now. Actually, the steering wheel's not all too bad on center for where it's at. I literally just did a tape measure to the front and back of the wheel. I had to reset the steering wheel a little bit because it was about a quarter turn or so off, but there was actually enough slop in the hub that we were able to reset it, and everything should still work out pretty well. So I think all we got left is, well, we got a lot left. We gotta reseal the transmission. We gotta put a new kickdown switch in it because the clips and the connectors on this one are broken. We gotta reseal the diff. I gotta do an oil change. I gotta put new drive belts on it. Yeah, we got quite a few things left to do. But for now, steering's done, and I do need to get it up on our stands, and we're gonna do a nice string alignment on it so it's all nice and true, drives super straight down the road, and yeah, should be pretty sweet.